as you can see, I have been through some film in the last year or two, and this is just the film I don't really care about. And unfortunately for me, and probably fortunate for you, I have kind of went through all of the different ways to scan my film at home, and I've been through quite a few bad experiences with cheap lenses, with extension tubes, with flatbed scanning, and I have finally kind of settled on, I think, my system from here on out. And I just wanted to share it with you guys and hopefully save you guys from the mistakes that I've made over the past year. So let me go get my setup and I will be right back and clear this up. So this fancy system is the Veloy Film Advancer. Now Veloy did send this over for free for me to talk about and review, but I actually went to them and I have been testing this for a few weeks, and so you can trust that I believe in this and this is what I'm going to be using from now on. But you don't need a fancy system like this to get started. They sell their film holders individually, and these are super affordable. There's different options on the market kind of similar to that. You can get an essential film holder for $70. So lots of different options. So you don't have to go with the system exactly to scan your film. So I am going to get my other components and we will talk about exactly what you need to scan your film at home. As you can see, I'm not planned out. All right, so obviously, if you are going to camera scan your film, the first thing you need is a camera. Now you can kind of use any camera that you have. I shoot with a Sony a7R IV to scan my film right now. Nice fancy camera, but it's actually not mine. I just am using it for work. So I used an A7C before that, and that only had 20 megapixels, and I got amazing results. So I think it's more in the lens that you use. Now, a lot of people, when they're scanning their film with the camera, they'll use extension tubes just on a normal lens. That's great if you're on a budget, and I totally understand if you are, but I would say as soon as you're able to get yourself a proper macro lens, you're gonna be a lot happier with your results. Extension tubes just aren't going to have the same quality as a real nice macro lens. This guy was only $400, which is expensive, but macro lenses get a lot more than that. So this is the Sigma 50 millimeter 2.8 DG macro EX. I'll leave a link. I just was reading on the forums and everyone was saying this is a really, really, really good lens for camera scanning. The reason being is that it extends all the way to a 1:1 ratio. That just means you can get really close to your subject. We already talked about the next thing you need. You need a film holder of some sort or some masks, and then you put that on a light source. Don't go really cheap. There's some $20 ones on Amazon. This one is only $60. I will leave the link down to this. Kind of the same thing. All the people on the forum said it was good. I got it. It's good. You don't want to skimp out because the cheaper ones tend to not have even light distribution on the light itself, and you can oftentimes see the individual LEDs, which will translate to your film, and you'll just have spotty film. So if you're gonna invest in all this and set it up, you don't want spotty film, obviously. And last but not least, you're going to want a copy stand. Now, copy stands get way too expensive I have no idea why. So all a copy stand is a platform, often a piece of wood, a pole that you can adjust the height of the camera. So I just built my own. This is literally a Target cutting board, a piece of pipe and a flange from Lowe's, and an old ball head from a tripod that I had laying around on a super clamp. So this was like $60, give or take, and it works perfectly, and it's super stable, and I can adjust the height of the camera, everything I need. So I would say probably don't spend a ton on a copy stand. Much better to invest in some glass and your light. Now that we've gone through everything you need to get started, let's get started. I just put my light on full blast, make sure it's set to 5600 for the white balance, and then I match that to my camera settings, so everything is good there. And I put my mask or my Veloy on the light source itself and start feeding the film through. Definitely the biggest detail in this entire system is your camera position. Basically, you want to get your film tack sharp and your camera as close as possible. And that can kind of be a balancing act sometimes. So what I did, because I know I'm going to be scanning medium format film and 35mm, and that means I'm going to have to raise and lower the camera. Once I just set it up initially and found my focus and it was as close as possible, I just put some paint pen on the pipe itself. That way it was an easy and fast transition. And then with your camera height set, you're going to want to make sure that your camera is completely level, because with macro photography, that focus plane is super shallow. So any tilt will make sure that one part of your image is in focus and one part is blurry. So what I do is I got a fancy app called Bubble Level, and I just put it to the surface level function. And when my camera is on the copy stand, I will just put it on top and make sure that everything is completely flat. That way you get the sharpest photo possible. You're gonna wanna focus on the grain, not like the eyes of your subject or whatever is the main feature of the photo, because you could have been a little bit out of focus when you were taking the original photo. So by punching in and making sure that like every little celluloid speck is sharp, it's just gonna make sure that your entire roll is tack sharp. So little pro tip, do it. You'll thank me later. But yeah. And then it's kind of just rinse and repeat after that. If you have your Veloy, it has these fancy knobs that just pull your film through and take a photo, and twist the knob and take your photo. But if you don't have that and you just have a mask or a film holder of some sort, you can just pull it through by hand. It works exactly the same. So yeah, that is the first video in this series of scanning and editing your film at home. So naturally, the next video is going to be editing your film. Hope you liked it. And I don't want to be that like guy who asks for likes and subscribers, but can I get some likes and subscribers? I'm honestly having a ton of fun with this YouTube channel, and I just want to grow this community, not like for my sake, really. You guys are just awesome, and I just want to bring as many people to this channel so we can talk about our favorite things like filmmaking and film photography and kind of all things creative in that realm. So that's my spiel. Do what you want to do. Cam Browne, take care of yourself. Bye guys, thanks.